So this was on my mind for a while, and I felt like I should have talked about it because I feel like there's a lot of men out there that are going through this life and being treated a certain way, as a man, and I feel like they're not even being heard or they're not even being acknowledged as a male, right? And I even had to come up with a list of things on the certain situations that a man goes through that makes his life suck. You know what I'm saying? So if you have any of these things going for you, okay, I'm just letting y'all know that first off, you're not alone. Secondly, 99% of the time, society has wired itself to be this way towards you, and it's really not your fault, okay? Because we know that there's a lot of men that deserve to be valued and are not valued because they're going through certain things and phases in their life that society thinks it's okay to put them down, if that makes sense. So we're going to start by the first thing that came in my mind. And one of them was, you're loved by what you do, not who you are. Okay, so I've noticed that society lives off status. Okay. And for example, if you are, let's say you have a title. Okay. You could be a pilot. You could be a chairman. You could be a lawyer, or you could be a doctor, right? You can even be a pastor. Okay. Because of your title, you are somewhat valued. It's not because you're a man. It's because whatever that title says that you can do is why you're valued. You know what I'm saying? Now let's just say that you have this title, any of these titles. Take that title and remove it from your character or from who you are. 99% of the time, society will not care on who you are. 99% of the time, society will belittle you and not even acknowledge you as a human because you do not have a title, if that makes sense. And the reason why I'm explaining this mostly to men is because a woman don't need a title to be somewhat valued. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the most part, society is wired to say respect women. You don't hear society saying respect a man. You know what I'm saying? You will never hear that. And you got to understand psychologically how messed up that is, because a man is supposed to be respected because he's a human, not because he's good or bad, because he's a mere human. Just like women are mere humans, children are mere humans. So regardless, they have to be respected because that's the way society should run. But society nowadays is all about what type of person that person is to receive a value. And if you're a man, okay, most of the time people want to know what you're doing that they can give you respect. Respect as a man is earned. It's not given. Whereas if you're a woman, respect is naturally and automatically given to you because you're a woman. But if you're a man, you have to earn that respect, right? So that's why my first reason, being a man in 2026 sucks, because you can walk around society and you're not respected because you're a man. You're respected by what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? What's the first thing people will ask you if you're a man and they see something in you? They'll say, what do you do for work? Right? Or what do you do in life? Or what do you do? And instead you can just simply say, I just enjoy life. If you say you just enjoy life, you're looked at as lazy. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have to tell everybody what you do for work, because your work is not what you do. Your work is not who you are, it's what you do, right? Because anyone can lose their job and do something else. So your identity is not your job or what you do for society. Your identity is just simply who you are. Does that make sense? So that's number one. Number two, being right is wrong. Okay. In 2026, okay, men who try to do the right thing, men who try to say the truth, even if it hurts, are naturally hated. Okay. And this isn't even just 2026. Look back in time. Look at a lot of men, even in the Bible, even Christ himself, saying everything right, and people try to find something wrong in him. And you see that today. If you're a type of man that spreads the truth, you get silenced. If you're the type of man that if you tell a woman or even another man, but I'm just going to say the opposite gender to make it make more sense, right? Let's say if a woman is unhealthy and you tell her, hey, you look really unhealthy right now, or hey, I don't like that you do this. By nature, you being right, there's an offense to that. That person takes offense to that. You know what I'm saying? As a man, they don't want you, and I'm talking about society, they don't want you to speak in power or to speak righteousness or to speak truth because they don't like the truth. They like to feel comfort. They like to feel what makes them comfortable. So if you're the type of man that knows he's right and you carry yourself in a right standard, even in a moral standard, society will always still try to figure out something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? You just can't walk around and think, or people can't let you just walk around and think that you're just a normal man that tries to do the right thing. And even if you're a type of man that wants to do the right thing, they'll say they want to see if there's something off with you. They want to see there's something missing. There's something off with them. I just can't wrap my head around it. So in this society today, trying to be and do the right thing is still wrong in the eyes of society. You know what I'm saying? And then you got a lot of people that'll say, well, where's the good men, or where's the men speaking up? But y'all portray them as wrong. You portray them as people that could never do anything right. So a lot of those men left the chat and focused on whatever they're called to do in their lives, because they don't want to contribute to a world or society where somebody is always going to try to find something wrong with you. You know, some things just can never just be normal and right. Like, no one really expects a man to be normally right. And if you are normally right, they're going to try to find something bad about you, wrong about you, or you're not. See, I knew something was. They try to find something about you that they just want to get something out of it so that they can shame you and destroy your image or who you are, right? That's number 2. Now, this one, I got Bible verses for the third one, because for this third one, I see it all the time, okay? I've had experiences like this, and I've talked to a lot of men who's had experience like this, okay? If you're a man, right, and you are financially struggling, I'm not saying you're lazy and you're not doing it. If you're a man and you're financially struggling, trying to keep up, right, and you're poor or you don't have a lot of money, you are naturally hated. And your life is going to be very hard. Not because you're struggling financially, it's because how people are going to treat you if they know that you're not financially up there, how society expects you to be up there, if that makes sense, right? I want to show y'all, watch this. I'm going to show y'all some Bible verses. I'm going to read some Bible verses to y'all, right? Proverbs 14:20, okay? It says that the poor is hated even by his own neighbor, but the rich has many friends. And think about that verse, right? Think about that verse for a second. Okay, the poor is hated by his own neighbor. So you can live in an apartment or a house and have a neighbor, or you can have people that live locally by you, right? And if you don't have a lot of money, or if you're not up there with them, right, you're still hated by your own neighbor. Your own neighbor don't respect you because you don't have a lot of money. But the rich has many friends, right? Because everyone knows that when you have status, you attract a lot more people. A lot of people want to be more around you because they are seeing a material value in you, right? So we know that every time you drive and you see a man that, or we can say a woman too, but we're talking about men here, especially a man. If you see a man and he is homeless and you know that he's just asking for a nickel, a dime, a penny, by nature, people are not going to like that man. By society standards, you automatically will not like that man. And if you're a man in that situation or in a poor situation, you're not going to be liked by a lot of people. Even women, right? Do not expect you to ask them for anything. Nothing financially, nothing that by nature. They don't want you to do that because they're taught that men are providers, right? And they're taught that any man should be able to give unto them. You know what I'm saying? Now, am I making this overall statement for all women? No. But I'm saying look at the overall picture on how society paints on what poor men should be like, how they should look like. They should be hated. They should be despised. They should not be respected or honored. Whereas men who have status, financial wealth, they're more valuable because they can bring something to the table. They can't, a poor man brings himself. He's not loved because as a man, you're not loved by being a man. You're loved by what you have and what you can bring, right? Here's another verse. And by the way, these verses are by the richest and the wisest man that ever lived the earth. He's saying this, right, in the Bible, okay? Ecclesiastes 9-16, it says, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, a poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. Okay, let that sink in. That means that if you're a wise man, if you're a man that has wisdom, if you're a man that's smart, if you're a man that's intelligent, if you're a man that can figure things out, but you don't carry a lot of money, no one's going to care. No one is going to hear you out. No one's even going to feel like you have a solution. But let's say you're a wise man and you got bread and money. Oh, people are not going to throw themselves at you. People are going to really, 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 really want to be around you and put you on a pedestal if you're a man with money, right? But if you're poor and you carry the same wisdom, even better wisdom than a man who's rich, they will still look at the rich man over you because you are poor. Does that make sense? And your words are not heard. There's no value in your words. You can speak truth and they don't care. You ever see those videos where you'll see a homeless guy? He'll speak the most factual, most honest, most truthful knowledge. A lot of people just oversee that. A lot of people do not care about that. But they're very quick to go to men who are complete fools. But because they got money, they want to hear and they prefer to hear what that person has to say, right? And it comes down to this, right? Being a man, okay? When you're a man, you're valued by what you have, not who you are. Whereas I always tell people, this is why a lot of men in 2026 need to go to the Most High. Because the Most High, and I personally believe that the Most High is the only being that will value you because you simply exist. If he didn't value you because you simply exist, he wouldn't have made you. He made you when you were born, you ain't have nothing. When you die, you don't got nothing. It's just you and him. Whereas the world did not make you. Women, right, do not have a certain value of you just being a human being. They have expectations because you're a man, right? The only person who will really value you because you exist is probably your mom, okay, and your dad. But even your dad will try to train you up to have something, but he'll love you because you're a son. But that's family. I'm talking about society, okay? By nature, society, if you ask society for anything as a man, they're going to say, why can't you do it yourself? Why can't? And these are men that just are trying to do it themselves, or should I say, be what we use independent, right? But they also need a boost to get their independence. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of men are trying to boost themselves up because society won't help those men and to function. Here's my final conclusion, okay? If you're a man and you know that society does not value you, okay? The first thing you should do is value yourself, okay? If you know what you like to do in life, if you know who you are in life, value that. Because there's only two people that's going to value you fully for who you are first. Is the Most High and yourself, okay? The second thing is, see, Everybody is going to leave this earth without money. Everybody. Okay? You do not die and carry silver and gold into the pearly gates. Okay? So do not let people who have money and are bashing you because you don't have it right now, do not let them control your emotions on what you're dealing with. Because at the end of the day, everybody dies broke. Everybody dies poor. That's the irony. Everybody dies poor because you don't carry that with you on the other side. You know what I'm saying? And last but not least is the truth is what sets you free, not the lie, right? So if you know you're walking, doing the right thing in life, if you know you're walking and you're carrying the moral integrity that the Most High gives you, if you know that you're doing the right thing, do not let society try to shame you because they want you to be wrong. Okay, if you know you're doing the right thing, stick to doing the right thing. Do not switch up because society doesn't agree with what the truth is. Okay, because the truth is going to set you free, right? And the truth is always going to prevail in the lie. Let society live in the lie because eventually everybody has to come to the truth. You know what I'm saying? And this message is because I know there's a lot of men out there. I know there's a lot of men out there who feel like their life sucks, okay, because of how they're being treated as a human. Not because their life isn't perfect. It's because how they're looked at as a human being. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like those types of men who are on those S watches, like the, SUA, you know what I'm saying? They're on that. A lot of people are feeling like that because they really feel worthless. They feel like nobody values them. So they don't want to be here on this earth. And how detrimental, how horrible, horrific it is that somebody's brother, somebody's husband, somebody's son, somebody's brother, somebody's uncle wants to take away their existence that the Most High gave them, all because they were born as something that they did not choose. You do not choose to be a man. You're just a man because the Most High wanted you to be a man. You know what I'm saying? So don't let that society hate discourage you, okay? Especially because I feel like the Most High has a lot of great plans for men, especially if you don't have it right now. You probably have the best plan for your life. And I'm talking about the Most High has the best plan for you for your life because he always saves the best for last. All the people who got their money up, all the people who are respected and honored right now, who finally made it, all the people who feel like they finally sat on their seats, right? That's for them. The best for last hasn't shown up yet. Okay, and if you know you're doing the right thing, if you know you're just striving for that excellence, if you know that you're just trying to be the man that the Most High calls you to be, you're going to get the highest seat. You're going to get the greatest seat out of all these people. All right, so this is just to give y'all some love, man, because there's some good dudes out there. There's some good dudes out there. There's a lot of good dudes out there that they don't even like to ask because they know how society's going to treat them. They don't even like to be outside because they know how society will look at them. You know what I'm saying? And people say that's an insecure thing. It's not an insecure thing. It's that they're trying to value themselves. So they rather stay inside. They rather just keep things to themselves. And that should be valued. That should be respected. So I love y'all. Y'all be safe out there. Shalom.